Welcome to New Life Live with Stephen Arterburn. For 35 years, New Life has been transforming lives one at a time thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's today's host, Chris Williams.
Welcome. So glad that you are with us today. And with me today, I have two brilliant hearts and amazing minds. And that is Dr. Alice Benton.
Hello. Best compliment I got all day. Thank you very much.
And Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris.
Yes. Hello, and thank you. I like
You're
that.
welcome. It's just
Really
true.
like
It's just
some
true.
do
It's an
poetry
observation. It's not blowing smoke. It's true. So here we go. All right. Hey, relationship is hard, right?
Yes.
Healthy relationship, becoming safe people, becoming people that discover life and vitality. And one of the things that interrupts our relationship is mistakes and harm. But they're inevitable.
Yes, they are.
I mean, it is like you're a human being, you got skin on, and you're on this place called Earth. You are going to make a mistake. You are going to harm. So one of the difficult things, or more difficult things to do, is how do we come back from that? And I'll say in my home is that what we try to implement is this acronym, OAR. And, OR. It's like, hey, we're all in this boat together. Whether you like it or not, and whether you like the boat or not, you're in it. So grab yourself an OR. And the OR stands for this, is when we make a mistake, we need to own it. That's the first part. Then we need to apologize for it. And then, now, a lot of us sometimes will just own it and apologize, or just apologize, right? That's just the stick part of the oar, right? Like, you can't get very far with rowing a boat with a stick. Mm-hmm. The R is the paddle, and that is repair. Mm-hmm. So I want to own it, apologize, and repair.
Mm-hmm. And repair often takes changing the thing you did. If you have harmed someone and you recognize it, you own it, and you can understand and explore how it happened and why you did it, then the repair is, how do we not make that happen again?
Yeah.
And then we need to pursue our family's hearts past the I'm fine. How you doing? I'm fine. When we stick with them long enough and keep asking gentle, curious questions from time to time, usually we start to get the truth under the I'm fine, which is
Yes.
that we're all
Yeah.
often carrying something, some bit of distress. Mm-hmm. And I realize if I haven't apologized to my children, to my husband in the last week, I'm probably overdue, because at least on a weekly basis, I've ruptured with somebody, even with best intentions. The ruptures happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you were saying relationship is hard, and then you said healthy relationship. People often don't understand that being in a healthy relationship takes work. And I've heard people say, well, if this was meant to be, it wouldn't be this hard. Mm-hmm. No, that's not true.
Yeah.
Our relationship with God is meant to be. And I'm sure he's thinking, oh my goodness, this is so hard.
These people.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, to take that even a step further, the cross is hard.
Yes.
Right? And that's the extent in which God will go to be in healthy, close relationship with us. And so when we enter into relationship, there is some cross-bearing that needs to occur. And in a world of rupture, we want to be a people of repair. And oftentimes that can take, or not often, all the time, that can take work. And that takes understanding, and that takes a tremendous amount of humility. But if you become a person who can carry an oar in your relationships, you can go to some amazing places, and you can go a long way with some pretty remarkable people. So if this is an area of your life, it's like, hey, listen, I have a hard time apologizing. Well, you just need to work out that muscle. Own it. You're not a bad person for it. You're not outside of God's will or God's grace, but you're just going to apologize and repair it. We're going to take your calls right when we come back from this break.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit it's addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have Christ-centered partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. Chris Williams, Dr. Alice Benton, Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris, and now we're going to have Joan. Joan, are you there listening to us in Boston, Massachusetts on WEZE? Joan, are you there?
I am right here.
Excellent.
I've been listening for many, many years.
Oh,
I
thank
love your
you.
ministry.
Well, the ministry loves you. We love you. And let's hang out for a little bit. Tell us what's going on.
Well, I was listening. I was a single parent since my daughter was a year old. And she's 38 now. And, many challenges and struggles and finances. And I remember one morning I was overwhelmed with everything. And this little, beautiful 9-year-old cherub was looking at me, and I just lost it. And I started yelling and frustrating and spewing, and I just looked at her. And then I looked at her face, and I remembered that someone told me about these 12 words. And it came to my head, and I said, honey, I was wrong. Please forgive me. I am sorry. I love you. And I'll never forget those 12 words came into my heart. And she looked at me, this adult, this mom, this provider, this lover of my daughter. And she looked at me, and she got it.
Wow.
And I think it's so powerful for parents to say, honey, I was wrong. That's not about you. That's my stuff.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to hear those 12 words, I was wrong. Please forgive me. I am sorry. I love you.
Wow.
I just wanted to share that.
Well, Joan, that's so, so powerful, coming off what we were just talking about. And
Yeah.
right. It's just it's all it's all queued up, man.
Look at
It's all on
Yeah.
it's all on
God's
script.
perfect timing.
Absolutely.
God's perfect.
But I have a question for you, Joan. There are some of us who really, really struggle with the "I am sorry" statement. What do you think? What do you think is in our way?
Well, I think that, and you had mentioned the cross, and I said, and I think of Jesus said, "Please forgive them, for they know not what they do." And I think sometimes it's "Please forgive me" is much more powerful. "I am sorry" is very easy. I'm sorry I hit my brother. I'm sorry I stole the cookies. I'm sorry. It's too easy. It's a culture cop-out. But "Please forgive me" is so much more powerful, and forgiving is the key ingredient to me in relationship.
That's really good. Because, Joan, I have this 9-year-old. He's the sweetest kid on planet Earth. It's just a joy to be his father, and he's so much fun. But he does this really infuriating thing. Like, he doesn't throw anything, like wrappers all over the place, toys all over the place. So, and I'll be like, "Hey, buddy, you didn't do this," or "Hey, you need to do this." And then he'll just say, "I'm sorry," and then goes out and plays. And you're like, "Dude, that's not it." Like, that's not, it does nothing for me. Yeah.
Even children.
Yeah.
I tell your brother you're sorry. It's so shallow. It's not heartfelt. But, if you use the words of Christ, oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
please forgive them. And Stephen, please forgive them. They know not what they do.
Yeah.
And, you know, and she was forgiving me because I didn't know what I was doing yelling at her.
Yeah.
But I didn't have anybody else. Single parents.
Oh.
You know, there's nobody else there, and you just hit the
and she
blow in the top.
just happened to be in the way of your overwhelm and your anxiety and your frustration. Yeah, for sure.
Joan, I
And
find that
remember
the more common apology is I'm sorry that you feel that way. And it does damage, I think, to apologize like that versus your fully taking responsibility without blaming her, even if she was doing something agitating before you yelled at her.
Yeah.
And God's bazooka, his weapon of warfare is what you did. It's the apology. And what can hold me back is that I'm afraid that if I confess to my loved ones, that it will push them away. And yet the opposite tends to happen when we confess as well as you did. It draws them into us. It's as if having made the mistake, because you use God's design, the relationship is even better on the other side than if I'd never made a mistake because of the humble way you handled it.
Absolutely.
I think it
And
solidifies the
a human
trust.
element as a parent, you know. I mean, you have a human element that kids can see. You know, you put them on this pedestal. But I remember another time when, again, you know, I remember I just went in the room, and I'd never done this. She knelt down. I knelt down. I said, come here. And I talked to God. I said, I don't know. This is so overwhelming. It's so much. I'm doing the best I can. And we weren't looking at each other. We weren't in confrontation face to face. We were ahead. So there were three people. There's that triangle kneeling together and crying out and saying, you know, this is all I got. I'm trying the best I can. And I'll never forget that. Those are two moments. And I'm old now. My daughter's 38, but I just wanted to share that. You know, kneel together and cry out together.
Yes. Like you said, bring in God into it to help us.
Yeah, I think that's great for people whose children are still young and they're making those ruptures, they're making those mistakes, and they get to teach them that mom or dad is human too, and this is how you make a repair, because they're going to go into relationships also. As a mom of adult children, I resonate with what you're saying, because there have been so many moments where I've had to own things that I did or didn't do that were hurtful to my children, and it has, it has really sealed our bond. Like, I feel closer to my children as adults than I've ever felt to them. And most of that is because I'm a recovering emotional avoider. So my heart is open and not guarded. My problem with I'm sorry, saying it, I think was a power thing. I don't want to give somebody the power over me that I was wrong really and now they hold that. And so the day my husband said, you never apologize, you never say sorry, and I could not find an I'm sorry in my memory, I had to sit back and look at that and go, oh, he's right. And that has to change.
And if you say, I was wrong,
Yes.
please forgive me.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I love you. Those 12 words, I'll tell you, they resonate. And it happens frequently. And the more I say it, the more I own it, the more peace I have with people.
Oh, that's well. I mean, what a gift, Joan! What a gift you're giving us today. What a gift that you are, because I think of that verse in Romans says, "Inasmuch as you can, live at peace with everyone." Right?
Absolutely.
And we treat that too many times as a mystery.
Yeah, sometimes we'll become passive aggressive.
Yeah,
because we're like, well, I'm going to live in peace. I'm just
or
not going to say
avoid it. Yeah, we mistake
so
we
that's
mistake
avoidance
for
in
peace.
case you're wondering.
Yeah. Whereas you're confronting it with these 12 words that give us, that demystifies it, that makes it tangible and accessible. And I'll just say this, for me, similar to Alice, is that admitting I'm wrong is that I made the mistake in my heart that wrong meant rejection. Wrong wasn't just I did something wrong, but I am bad. It had a shame component to it.
Exactly.
And that shame prevented me from reaching out like Christ did and like Christ commands us to bridge the gap of the pain and the hurt and then make the repair.
God is a God of reconciliation.
No, it's so good.
This
It's
is such
so
a great
good.
way to do it.
Well, Joan, thank you so much for calling in today. And we're going to send you the 1-year Bible for women. Misty Arterburn put that together, and it's such a really cool resource. And you are a cool resource, and more than that, a great person, and so glad that you called in today. But there's something else I want to talk about that Joan brings up that I think is really important. I've lost it on my kids, right? Yelled at them, gotten impatient with them, criticized them, done something that's just really is going to hurt their little hearts. And hopefully doesn't stick forever, although we do have a therapy jar that we're regularly contributing to for them. But you know what the source of that is? It's not them. They're just being kids. It's my condition. Mm-hmm. It's the condition inside of me in which they triggered or got in the way of the same thing that Joan got in the way of Joan, of being overwhelmed, being anxious, being frustrated, being burnt out, being overly tired, all of those sort of things.
Yeah. And I have adult children, so I have kids who still have those scars. They're of those moments where I blew up or lost it or drove off because I told you to find your shoes 500 times and you didn't, and I was late. So, but that one right there, that 5-year-old who was chasing the car,
yeah,
it stuck.
Yeah.
At 31, it's still there. Mm-hmm. She still gets triggered by it, and so we still talk about it. Yeah. I still apologize. I still comfort.
That's so good, Jacqui.
We still talk about it because it was, I think it was a defining moment for her in our relationship. And so I had to do a lot of repair for her to trust that I would never leave her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Well, I mention this because the best parenting we could do is work on ourselves. And I cannot possibly overstate that enough. Is that if I parent out of my fear, if I parent out of my trauma, if I parent out of my anxieties, and if I parent out of my shame, that's where that's the source of these things is, as you were mentioning, Alice, unfinished business inside of me. And in a previous show, we were talking about that. And so if you have unfinished business, and your unfinished business shows up as an unhealthy relationship to food or your body, Lose It for Life is for you. It's right around the corner. Online intensive. You don't have to go anywhere. You can do it from the comfort of your own home, January 27th. Sign up today. If marriage is this really painful thing and you find yourself circling the same conflict mountain over and over again and can't figure it out, and you're struggling, Intimacy in Marriage Weekend, February 16th through the 18th here in Orange County. Again, sign up for it. We have the Restored. If you're a woman who has been deeply impacted by the sexual betrayal of a husband or a partner, that's also for you here in February here in Orange County. And obviously Every Man's Battle. It's coming up March 1st. And then the other one, near and dear to my heart, Jacqui and I will be there presenting, is the Emotional Freedom Intensive online March 16th. Again, if there are things inside of you that you find yourself easily angered, easily triggered, edgy, or maybe you're really depressed and can't get out of it, Emotional Freedom online workshop is there for you. And Jacqui, what are you going to be addressing in Emotional Freedom?
Yeah, trauma and grief. And so if you have unfinished business in that area of grief, or you've had trauma experiences and you find yourself stuck in fight, flight, freeze, you are just surviving all the time, you are in survival mode, this would be a good intensive for you to come to. We'll talk about what you're experiencing, but also some ways to overcome it.
And if you are having trouble deciding, just choose one of them. Like it will make a very, very tangible difference in your life. You can call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE to find out more about those, or go online, newlife.com. And Steve is on sabbatical, and we love that he's taking this rest, but we also want to hear from him. And here is a short message from Steve.
I'm Steve Arterburn with a New Life Moment. Don't talk. Keep the family honor. Were you raised in a family that kept to this code? Years ago, I met a woman who learned these rules so well that she carried them into all of her relationships. As treatment progressed, the roots of her silence were revealed. When she was 2, her father hanged her. Her mother cut her down moments before she would have died. You'd think this traumatic event would have initiated help for her dad. Instead, everyone acted as if nothing was wrong. Then her father burned down their house, and her brother rescued her from her crib. No wonder this woman wasn't talking when she came to us. It took time, but she learned to break her lifelong rule of no talking. Are you living by this code of silence? Do you need help? Visit newlife.com for free tips on healing broken families. I'm Stephen Arterburn, and thanks for listening to this New Life Moment.
When you give to the New Life Scholarship Fund, you're giving someone hope for a brighter future.
I was kind of in the closet and hit with my struggle. Your donation really made the difference, especially in my situation, because I would have getting laid off from my job.
At the New Life Intensives, hurting people are able to begin a new path towards healing and freedom that has an effect on all of those around them.
I think the people who support New Life financially are people that I'll never know. You know, I'll never be able to thank them personally for the gift that they gave to us. Their giving saved me, my husband, and our family from being torn apart.
To help hurting people to connect to the help they need, make your gift to the Scholarship Fund at newlife.com or by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE and specifying scholarships.
Someone called and sponsored me to come this weekend. Whoever that is, just know that you saved a life. Literally, you saved my life.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found life recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. Again, Chris Williams, Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris, Dr. Alice Benton, and now we also have joining us Marilyn, listening in Miami, Florida, listening on WEGS, sister station out there. Marilyn, are you there?
I'm here.
Excellent. Well, tell us what's going on today.
Well, my question, I'm going to get to my question first. I'm basically at the end of my rope, and I feel like I'm just stuck, and I don't know what to do about that. I'm in a relationship. My husband, I've been married for over 35 years to the same man, and and it's been like this almost the whole 35 years. We don't have a relationship. No communication, no intimacy, and it's just like I'm just all alone.
Man, that's so brutal.
I just feel depressed. I'm depressed.
Mm-hmm.
My heart is broken. I'm just stuck.
Yeah.
Marilyn, for you two to have been shut down to such an extent, even early in your marriage, I've got to imagine that there was trauma you both went through, and shutting down, kind of being a turtle, keeping your head inside, maybe was the survival mechanism that you used. Could you name something for us? Did you two have pretty rough childhoods?
Yes, both of us. But we grew up basically in the same, not in the same neighborhood, like in the same lifestyle and stuff. And it was like, we didn't have neither one of us had any kind of teaching or, anybody to, basically we do what we think we should be doing, like however we figure it's supposed to be done, and we didn't have any kind of teaching and anything. So, I mean, and I don't blame him and I don't blame myself, but we didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you saying neither of you have done anything wrong, but you are using what you had, and what you had wasn't sufficient to give you the kind of marriage you were hoping for.
Right.
And
Yes,
being
ma'am.
married isn't enough on its own. There are some things that have to be done, but you guys don't have those tools. You don't know why you respond the way you respond, or what to do to bring intimacy back into your marriage. I'm a fan of How We Love. There are some things that happen in your upbringing, both of you growing up in the same kind of cultural experiences, the same kind of environments. You have some attachment challenges, and understanding the way you each connect can help you to connect with one another. Understanding the way you receive and give comfort can help you to connect with one another. Understanding how to go deeper in conversations about what you're feeling and what you need, and how to respond to your partner's needs can really be helpful. And all of that comes from a book called How We Love. And our intimacy and marriage weekend sounds like it would be incredibly helpful. Do you think you could encourage your husband to go to something like that? It's here in California this year.
Okay. No, ma'am. We're here in Florida, and we don't have that kind of resources.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about that is, I mean, he's not. I don't know I don't understand what's in his mind, but he acts like nothing's wrong, but he knows that something's wrong.
For sure.
But that's what you guys did growing up.
I can't.
That's
right,
all. That's what he knows.
Speak for him, but for me, I really tried. I mean, like I've just listened to you guys saying, or own it, apologize, and repair.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that, but he's never, all these years, apologized to me for anything.
Yeah.
And he, like if I own it and I apologize, then he really gets, like to the point where, okay, like everything was my fault, and it's like, he didn't, he's not a part of it, and I mean, there's no room to repair it if both of us are not willing to repair. I do what I can, and I promise you, I'm not trying to dump everything on him, but this is how things is going.
Yeah.
Marilyn, do you think is his response or lack of response, is it complicated by any addictive behavior, pornography, substance use?
No, ma'am. No. He's just one of those type of people that I call him a narcissist. I don't even know what a narcissist is, but he's one of those type of people that he craves accolation. He craves that people can talk, nice about. He do anything he can for people in order for them to like him and to say good things about him. But as far as I'm concerned, he's not really, really, really mean, but he's just not.
Well, he's not available.
Nice
yeah, and he's just not available, right? And so it's like, there's no in his life, in his house, there's no room at the inn, and there's certainly no room for you. And so Marilyn, we're going to head to a break here. We're going to come back after that. We're going to really help pave a pathway forward for you. And I want you to, and as we're going to that break, I want you to consider that as we're paving that pathway forward, it's a pathway that doesn't necessarily get him to change, because we're not in control of that. It gets you to do something different where the quality of your life and the quality of your relationships can improve. So we'll come back right after that. And again, we've mentioned this, and so I just want to reiterate it. Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 16th through the 18th in Orange County. And by the way, we do have a scholarship fund. If finances are in the way, give us a call, 1-800-NEW-LIFE, and see what we can do to help you get to this life-changing workshop. We'll be right back.
We all have struggled with weight problems all our lives. This involves not only the health side of it, but the spiritual side of it.
If you're ready to begin a comprehensive plan that provides freedom in every area of your life, New Life's Lose It for Life online intensive can help. This online intensive features Zoom sessions presented by Steve Arterburn and Elena Al-Sharu on Saturday, January 27th, plus 4 small group process sessions facilitated by a credentialed New Life Network counselor.
Of all the things, the best part for me was the small group time.
If you're finally ready to stop going from diet to diet and begin a comprehensive plan that addresses the psychological, emotional, and spiritual aspects of a healthy lifestyle, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or go to newlife.com.
It is a life change. It is not a diet. It is not just a plan. It is a life change.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I have given to New Life regularly because I have so many people that I am referring to New Life who so benefit from the ministry. I just can't imagine what would happen in my area if New Life wasn't available to us.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the new member thank you gift of all 8 100-day devotionals, including 100 Days of Prayer, 100 Days of Freedom from Depression, and 100 Days of Peace. There are also ongoing benefits like the monthly Club New Life CD or download, access to the Club New Life video library, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, discounts on workshops, and quarterly online meetings with Steve. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live, and we're talking with Marilyn in Miami, Florida. Just in a loveless marriage, a disconnected, lonely experience that is really, really painful. And so, friends, how can we help Marilyn move forward in this situation?
Marilyn, have you and your husband ever tried counseling or coaching before?
It's really hard to find someone, that in that area. But I've suggested and stuff, and we went to 1 or 2 of them. But he's not the type of person to open up and talk.
Mm-hmm.
He will not. He'll say stuff, but it won't. It doesn't help.
It can be so disappointing and maybe even despair at, well, it didn't work before, so why would it work this time? Marilyn, we have a network of counselors, and we can help connect you with someone in your area who can at least walk alongside you. But I would suggest you do another, what we call an appeal to intimacy to your husband, letting him know, if you can genuinely still say this, our relationship's important to me. I care about you. And you're right. I'm ignorant sometimes about how to do relationships. So I know I need help. But husband, honestly, we both need help. We both have some blind spots, and neither of us came from a good home. Right. And so I need us to get back in to counseling again, because I want better for us than what we have right now. And Marilyn, hopefully he'll go along with you again as he has before. That's the hope. But if not, you're going to have to be braced to possibly set some boundaries to protect your heart if he refuses to learn or to change. And we do that by deciding what amount of distance do we need from a person. Your marriage is already distant, so this is tricky to figure out. But if he continues to hurt you and has no willingness to change, then a counselor or coach can help you identify what boundaries do I need to set, or do I need to start building a social life with other women outside of my home, because I will not get relationship with my husband. And sometimes, Marilyn, when a spouse sees us starting to build joy and connection, companionship, then that can help them to see, wait, I want some of that. I'm missing my wife. I want her around. There needs to be sometimes a level of loss in order to motivate a person like your husband who's pretty resistant.
I think also, piggybacking on what you just said, Alice, that group of women can be a fulfilling relationship for you because he may not have it to give. The thing that you may need, because you didn't have a good a role model of a healthy relationship and how to do healthy conflict and how to navigate the challenges of relationship, you may be looking for something from him that isn't his to give. And so meeting with other women and talking about some challenges or just enjoying building this new relationship may feed you in ways that you're not getting fed in your marriage, while also not taking you outside of the boundaries of your marriage.
That's good. And Alice, I hope you have a very, very strong back, because I'm going to piggyback on that. And so you got a couple piggybacks going on right here. But Marilyn, also, I hear your despair and I hear your depression. I hear your suffering. And friend, I don't want that for you. And I know that God hasn't designed you for that. And one of the things that I want you to look to re-engage in is fun. You need a lot more. You need a lot more fun in your life. And to Alice's point, that could be reaching out. That could be in a church network or in community networks with other women that kind of maybe share a similar phase of life with you, and you go and you discover what you enjoy. And what you have fun with, to get that life and that vitality back into you, because your marriage has been siphoning. It's been sucking out that energy that it's supposed to provide for you. So to my colleague's points, you're going to have to find that somewhere else.
And there are times when we have needs, just simple enjoyment, fun, as Chris said, that don't align with our partner's interests.
For sure.
They never think about
Yes.
it. It's not that they're being mean or cruel or unkind or don't care about us, but they may never think about buying flowers. It's not a thing for me. I don't necessarily need flowers every day. You bring me a box of chocolate, that's going to do it
Now
for
we're
me,
talking.
right?
Now we're
That's
talking.
gonna do it for
Yeah.
me. But I will go buy my own chocolate if I'm wanting that. If I can cozy myself, I can love on myself. And so have a self-care day. Pamper yourself. Give yourself the love and affection you're waiting on from him. Because I do believe that sometimes as women, we won't do some things for ourselves because we've just been told, well, that's the man's job. Your partner should be doing that for you. If you've got a man, shouldn't he be doing that? Where's your man? Why are you doing that alone? Because I want to do it and he doesn't. I'm not going to force him to do things he doesn't want to do because I want to do them. But I'm also not going to not live a fulfilled life because we have different interests.
Yeah, that's good.
Marilyn, I know you said finances are a problem. We have a scholarship fund. And so if you would consider even one of our online weekends, because I can see you getting into a group of women, whether it's at our Lose It for Life coming up real soon here or our Emotional Freedom Intensive, that will be a way to access community of other people who are hurting and want help, and they're getting on that same healing path that you are. So please allow us, ask us about the scholarship, and we can see if we can apply that.
And so, Marilyn, we're going to send you a copy of How We Love, and that'll be a great book to really help you understand what's going on underneath the surface, especially for yourself and possibly your husband as well. And we want to encourage you, utilize our network. Let us support you any way we can. And we thank you so, so much for calling in today. And we'll be in prayer for you and your husband and hope that something can break through to increase and gain connection that you guys so deserve. And so with that, we're going to go to one more caller today. We're going to go to Dana, listening in Lawrence, Massachusetts on WEZE, another Wheezy caller. And so, Dana, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. What's going on, man? Tell us what's up.
Well, I wanted to give a little history first. In '89, I was married, my first marriage. And I retired from the military in 2012. And this past January of 2023, my daughter was kidnapped. She was
oh my
trafficked.
Goodness.
And my 17-year-old. So from the first marriage, we had 7 kids, and there was a time frame from that retirement in 12 where we didn't communicate at all until they found out that my daughter was trafficked, and then the family called me. It was awkward because back in 2018 we all met, went to a funeral, and I was kicked out of the funeral pretty much because I have a new family, and it just didn't jive. I shouldn't be there, act like I'm dead kind of thing. So, my question was, while my daughter was missing, we were separated, and I had talked to my ex-wife. And we kind of were cordial and stuff like that. But then I told her that, the only reason that, I have time to talk to you is because, what's going on with my daughter. And once she was found, it was almost like I was dead again. So I'm trying to find out, how do I communicate, with them, on my terms and their terms.
Let me ask you a question, though. When your daughter went missing, what actions did you take?
Oh, I went to, it was, around MLK time frame. So I went to a couple programs and talked to media and just kind of raised a ruckus because I didn't believe that the school DARE officer and the police were, because my daughter, culture-wise, we thought that she wasn't really important to the. So,
but you took action to see to find her and to see what's going on and to help her and to rescue her. Correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And Dana, can you tell us why did that first marriage end?
I was retiring, and I came back to see what was going on, and we were apart for so many years. I had 2 of my sons, and I had a child care plan, so I really wasn't a father, but the care plan was acting as their parent.
Yeah. Well, let's do this, Dana. We're going to head into a break here. So you hear the music, and we're going to come back. We're going to really kind of see if we can help you find a way forward, especially with your daughter, but also give you a better understanding of what may be going on with her. We appreciate your call, and we're going to come right back to it. Again, give us a call if we're going to be on future shows. If you want to get a hold of us, 1-800-229-3000, or if you want to get a hold of our call center, 1-800-NEW-LIFE, we can help.
We all face days where life throws us a curveball and our routines or plans get disrupted. Things we wanted to do are forced to take a backseat to the unexpected demands of the day. If you normally listen to New Life Live on a radio station, well, you might not be able to that day. And on these hectic days when you're feeling stressed or frazzled, hearing the sound of counsel given on New Life Live is just what you need to navigate the unexpected things of life.
Every time I'm troubled or I have a problem, I'll cut on New Life, and there's always something that is said that is helpful to me.
By listening, I have learned more than I can ever express about how God wants me to live.
Download the New Life app for the easiest way to listen wherever you are and at a time that's convenient for you, or watch the show on our YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to our podcast from your favorite podcast provider. You never have to miss a day of New Life. Wherever you are, we are.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for over 34 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for your life and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 639-5433.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. Chris Williams, Dr. Alice Benton, Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris, and we're talking with Dana, who is estranged from his adult children, especially his daughter, and it's a really painful experience. And Jacqui, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Dana, I just want to clarify. So in 89, you got married. You were in the military. Was she in the military?
No.
Okay, so you got married. Did you deploy?
Oh, yeah, I deployed a lot.
Okay, so you deployed. She stayed home?
Yeah, and at one point, she was in New York and I was in Texas.
Okay.
And I took my two sons, and,
And the two sons were with her?
No, they're with me.
They're her sons as well?
Yeah,
So
that's great.
So she's in New York, and you have the two sons, and in the visits, we get to the 7 babies, right? So 7 children, are they between the two of you, or are there other parents involved?
No, just between the two of us.
And you said you had remarried and had a new family. So did you have...
Yeah, we got divorced in 13, and then I got remarried.
Okay. But when you divorced, there was no more contact with the wife or any of the children?
No, that's correct. Yep. Well, the oldest one, there's been, I've been pretty steady with her, but she can't answer questions for her siblings.
Right. Okay. So you've been pretty steadily in communication with the oldest one, but not for the rest of them. Are they angry with you? Do they feel abandoned by you?
Well, I could have done a better job communicating, when they had their... Because I right now, I have to go through the caregivers as, like, their parents, as their, like, their segregate father. Because I paid him to take care of him, but he still took care of him.
So did your wife ex-wife remarry?
No, she never remarried.
So but there's another man that's helped to raise the kids?
Oh, yeah, the military had me open an allotment as a family care plan, and he took care of my children because I was deployable. I was, he took care of my sons for me, and they'll be in the older siblings.
Okay.
That kind of goes down to the younger ones.
I'm wondering what it would be like for you to meet with a counselor or a coach to explore some of your story, your military story, being in the military, deploying, and then retiring from the military, how that's impacted you and the way that you do relationship, as well as your childhood before joining the military. Would you be open to seeing a therapist?
Well, me and my current wife, we do attend marriage counseling, and do talk to therapists in our church and things like that. But
do you have an individual therapist?
I do. I'm getting another one on the 22nd.
Okay. I just think that as you're doing your work and you're getting healthier, that then gives you something to be able to share with them, and hopefully it trickles down from your older daughter, because if they don't want anything to do with you, you don't have a way to contact them, but you're in contact with the oldest daughter. She's in relationship with them. As you are growing and changing and healing and learning more about the way your life and lifestyle has impacted them, that information can then be passed down, and that might soften some of the hearts. We don't know what their condition is. We don't know what their life and lifestyle is, and that's also playing a role that you don't have any control over. So the work is for you to work on who you are and how you've parented, and the kind of person you want to be going forward in their lives.
And Dana, it's as if your relationship with your children was robbed because you were laying down your life for your country. And so as you dedicated yourself to the service in the military, you lost so much time with your family. And it may have even felt like it was usurped by this person that was assigned to help care for your family. And so it would be difficult, I think, to talk about how absent you were, because it wasn't by your own fault. It was a way to provide for your family, actually. But I heard humility when you said, I could have communicated with them better. And it's by a real frank confessions that you were not there, and guesses at how your absence affected them. You might be so angry with me. You might think I left you, that I didn't want much to do with you because I wasn't around. Versus, I was busy. It's not my fault. I was fighting. I was providing for you. And so it's this work on yourself and the ability to empathize with your children, offering those kind of statements to them. And it might even have to start in writing if they're not willing to talk with you, but to do it with this counselor that you have coming up so that it is humble and it's not blame shifting or minimizing how your absence unfortunately impacted your family. That might be a road in to reestablish relationship with them.
Dana, you've been in a really tough situation. I want you to hear what my colleagues have said, right? Because your lived experience as a parent has been radically different than their lived experience as your child. And unfortunately, here's what happens. When there is absence, and this is part of my own story with my dad, when there is absence of a father in a child's life, that provides a lot of blank space. And do you know what children do? They write really bad, painful stories in those blank spaces. And unfortunately, they can't connect with your incredibly heroic civic duty in the military as a justifiable reason of why Dad wasn't there for me in these critical moments. And again, I'm not saying it's fair and I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's the difference of the lived experience. And we're inviting you into exploring that. I love what Jacqui was saying about explore your own story and maybe some gaps in relationship, some pain that you've been carrying that maybe stops you from getting more engaged and involved in your loved one's life, but also engaging in a process of empathy. What was it like for you, son or daughter, to be my child? And I think that's actually a scary but important question.
Yes. It's really hard, too. My son-in-law just deployed yesterday. He'll be gone for a month. And my granddaughter had a really hard time at school. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until last night when I got home from work that it struck my daughter what was happening. The nurse called. She couldn't concentrate. She said her stomach was hurting. She couldn't eat. And she got home and just cried and everything. We were all like, what's with the drama? Why is she so emotional? Yeah. And then as we're getting ready for bed and I came home, it was like my daughter looked at me when I came home and she was like, it struck her. Her dad just deployed. We don't recognize the impact that has. My husband was in the Marine Corps and he deployed a lot. We were just talking about that. The deployments weren't just going overseas. He would be at 29 Palms for 2 months, or he'd be out in the field for a week. And the kids, the absence is still absence. The abandonment issues are still there. And to this day, my husband is working that out with his daughters, and we were together. Yeah.
Well, and so, Dana, this is a long process of healing, and that's the invitation, is to get into your own work and heal out what's inside of you and become safer and more engaged as you can heal out what may be inside of your children in the relationship. And again, thank you so much. It shows just such great courage and humility to call us today. And we're going to send you a copy of Healing as a Choice, as well as How We Love. And I just want a message out there for those who have served and are serving, is that separation, and it does have a consequence. And we are here to support you in that. We want to support you in your service to our country, but we want to support you in healthy and vital relationships. Again, you can give us a call, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We'll get you connected with a resource, with a program, with a workshop, however possible. Thank you so much for listening to us today, and God bless.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again on Monday for New Life Live.
Thanks for watching today. We love helping people. I hope you sense that. And we know that there's always hope if you find the right resource. Now, if something we've said to somebody else applies to you, that's fantastic. That's what we're hoping for. But also, if you want to join us directly, you can call 1-800-229-3000 between 1 and 3 Eastern Time, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. Those are the best times to get through. And while you're here on YouTube, check out these other videos that we've done to help people see where they could grow or a different path to take. And if you do that, would you give us a thumbs up on the video, and please subscribe to this channel. There are many ways that we can help you outside of the radio program, and it's very hard for some to pick up a phone and dial 1-800-NEW-LIFE, but when you do, we put you in touch with somebody who cares about you, knows all the resources out there, and they're going to find the best for you. There is no reason to struggle alone. I hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you'll invite somebody else to come and join that maybe needs just a little bit of help along the way. I'll see you next time.